No more mission this year, that said. Truth is gradually becoming clear to the SpaceX Falcon Heavy. So many expectations were placed on this heavy lift rocket after the becoming years of 2023. But what's about not happen may not meet those expectations, but don't worry, the real problem doesn't lie with the Falcon Heavy itself. So then why is this happening and does it affect the Falcon Heavy position in the industry? Let's find out through an episode of SpaceX Saga 2023. Can be considered and the explosive year for all SpaceX vehicles. Falcon 9 continued to set new records. Starship and its first integrated flights, and that was the year of Falcon Heavy, launched the most with 5 flights. What's why entering of 2024 when the Falcon 9 and Starship both made progress in the first half of the year, people were also eagerly anticipating the awakening of the Falcon Heavy. The excitement was palpable when this monster successfully launched the JSU mission on the June 25th. So what's next? We all know what later this year Falcon Heavy is planned for 2 more missions, launching the Europa Clipper spacecraft to explore Jupiter icy moon Europa in October and launching the NASA lander and the rover Viper to explore water ice and the south pole of the moon in November. Falcon Heavy readiness was proved when just a week after a JSU mission on June 25th, images showed that SpaceX had brought the core booster of the Europa Clipper mission B190 and run the side booster of the 2 missions were also assisted, including B1064 and a B1065 of the Europa Clipper and B172 and a B1086 for the Griffin. Sadly, there was so more Falcon Heavy mission this year. Firstly, let's talk about the Europa Clipper mission. The spacecraft initiative has been planned for a long time, but the project truly entered the preliminary design stage in the 2017. This spacecraft received a lot of investment with the cost of $4.35 billion in 2021. Falcon Heavy was chosen to launch this spacecraft because of its advantages in the low cost, along the SLS ability problems and other features during flight. However, by 2022, due to delays on the installing instruments, the launch satellite schedule was booked back to the 2024. But a few days ago, July 11, NASA updated an issue related to the capabilities and the expensive spacecraft, raising the doubts about the launch schedule. Specifically, the agency said the issue with the transactions come to light in May when the missions team was advanced the similar parts when falling to the readiness. Radiation still then expected the quite dangerous because the magnetic fields on Jupiter and Europa are 20,000 times strong than the other Earth and other discovered device in spacecraft like translators. Detecting the problem in the final stage makes it difficult to resolve because modifying those parts is quite cosmic, but the time until the expected launch is only 3 months. If this year launch is not possible, the mission will likely be moved to one of the next 2 years, 2025 or 26, but that while more of course led to increased cost and affect mission progress. A posted sign is that NASA later said they will be complete a preliminary analysis by the end of July and still target an October launch in the Europa Clipper mission. Still has a chance to be resolved. The hope of the Griffin mission seems to be launched more during a July 17 teleconference and other update. NASA decided to cancel the Viper mission because of its high cost. Viper is a lunar rover produced the astrobotic after a Payload lunar lander to explore water ice and the moon. South Pole was launched the ULA Falcon earlier this year, while Viper was scheduled on SpaceX Falcon Heavy is November. In the aforementioned teleconference, NASA revealed set up $450 million US on this lunar lander, not including launch costs. Then they say the cancellations will save the agency $84 million. That huge cost is related to delays in the development progress. Originally scheduled for launch in 2023, in 2022, it was pushed back to the 2024, leading to increased cost mission delays. Some case from the Griffin lander, which cost $322 million after NASA contracts and the current progress is ready to launch no earlier than September of 2025, resulting in the Viper cluster that could reach up $69.5 million if not cancelled. Such a schedule is because it also depends on suitable lighting conditions at the polar landing sites. This is early and a surprise because this updates this lunar rover progress was continuously confirmed to be very smoothly at the same time. And this update, the car-sized Viper was fully assembled, undergoing environmental testing. All issues and other related cost issues and NASA budget will decrease in the coming years, leading to costs allotted and many projects being sharply cut regarding the Viper Clipper. It can be sold unscared for use to the future vehicles. Meanwhile, the Griffin lander will still be related, but the same chance for the launch later this year is extremely low in the constellations. With the updates related to missions, I think that in the best case, Falcon Heavy will only launch one mission, most likely a Europa Clipper. But at worst, will be more Falcon Heavy mission launched this year. Hopefully, those organizations will soon resolve the problem. So, what doesn't happen, and how about will Falcon Heavy launch and more missions this year? Please respond yes or no in the comment section down below. In the meanwhile, obviously, that issue will affect SpaceX progress. To date, Falcon Heavy was launched 10 missions, of which 2023 is the most mission, and the tempo is already reduced with the 2 missions cannot be implemented. The Falcon Heavy only 1 mission this year will means it will return to the pace of the year before 2023. In addition, if no mission was launched, SpaceX will also be opportunity to attempt landing and 3 booster of the Falcon Heavy, which is expected to the barricade of the Griffin mission. This is very important step of the SpaceX strategy, is something they was tried before but have not yet success in achieving. But looking forward, these issues will not affect Falcon Heavy feature position. But before we come to plan, like the video, share and subscribe to the channel to continue following SpaceX development journey. And you can also comment heavy blow to the continue spotting this rocket of the reason. For my opinion, is because the problem I solve point but are not related to SpaceX. Instead, they stem from payload issues. The issues reflected inflations of the development and cost management of the NASA and the contractors. Meanwhile, Falcon Heavy still demonstrated high reliability after some issues with the core booster. Early this year, SpaceX team for efficiency successfully launched the weather satellite from NASA. The weather satellite for NASA, this achievement helped Falcon Heavy reach the milestone of the 10 launches within the around half a decade of the accomplished fight that most many rockets easily they have lived launch vehicles can achieve. And remember, all 10 of these missions they have successfully showcasing the absolute reliability of this rocket. The one issue remaining is Falcon Heavy and the layout of the land. All 3 boosters, as mentioned before, currently SpaceX is facing some issues related to Falcon 9, which has led to the temporary pause in the operation and the ignitive of the mishap. Since Falcon Heavy shares the same system, it will also Falcon Heavy resume operation soon. However, the SpaceX team must truly address all issues of the ensure and the Falcon Heavy maintains the highest reliability for the upcoming mission. For the schedule, if the mission planned for this year are not carried, will likely postpone on the missions following years. This means the pace will slow down, but the mission are entirely lost unless and cancelled completely. This could lead to the explosive few years ahead of the Falcon Heavy, promoting, surpassing and activated sense of the 2023. Not only the SpaceX currently has several missions under contract from the USSF, National Space Security Launch, along with the Falcon Heavy, will continue to play a critical role of the fulfilling this mission. Looking ahead to phase 3 of the contract announced to June 23rd, the Pentagon has included SpaceX, Blue Origin and ULA with the latest 30 missions schedule of the land. One, although specific acquisitions have not been detailed, SpaceX is likely to dominate to the competitors, but this because Blue Origin has yet to reach orbit and New Zealand won't launch before September of this year. ULA has previously held a strong market position, has lost significant market share of the SpaceX With the old rockets being retired and the Vulcan still awaiting launch certification, giving these factors SpaceX is expected to ensure a significant share in phase. Their three future further solidify Falcon Heavy role in the industry after truly sad because it's likely the Falcon Heavy this year won't meet out expectations. But don't worry, I believe I will not as slightly low down before the explosive Predator and the Falcon Heavy. One day more could imagine Falcon Heavy, one of the three monsters of the specific space orbital fleet, and a solid position and let aerospace industry for many years to come. Well folks, that about today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning, and this is John from SpaceX Saga. Until next time, keep looking up.